What is up, all of you beautiful, beautiful people out there? We were wondering where Tiffany is, but she is here. I am
Turn my camera on.
Wayne, joined as always by my amazing partner in crime, Miss Tiffany. What's up, ma'am?
So glad to be here. So tired. Been in the yard piddling all day. And I do not mean piddling meaning pee. I mean piddling meaning mowing and pulling grass and all that stuff.
You'll be all right.
Yeah, I'll be all right.
Don't worry about it. You'll be okay.
And I'm really hoping y'all don't hear the fireworks that are going off over here because, July 4th in our neighborhood lasts for the whole month, I think. So,
Yeah, I heard some here earlier too. I hope everyone had a very, very safe and fun and amazing 4th of July. We did our members only show on Thursday instead of Friday this week because the 4th fell on a Friday. Wanted to give everyone opportunity to hang out with family and friends and all that good stuff. I haven't heard of anyone losing any fingers or anything like that, so hope it went well for everyone.
yeah, we haven't seen any gory Facebook pictures. Hey, I blew the shit off my finger today.
Did you guys do anything for the 4th?
No, Zach worked 24. Well, he didn't work 24. He worked overnight. And then Carrie spent the night with her friends. So it was just me and the dogs. And do you know? Okay, so Hunter's 12 today. So he's lost just enough of his hearing to where the fireworks don't affect him. And then Cooper slept through everything. So I'm like, yes.
So you guys know Hunter is her dog.
Oh, yeah, Hunter's my
Not
wow.
her child at 12 years old. Not her human child, I should say.
guess I should preface that.
Hunter is 12 years old, so he's deaf. The hell happened to Hunter?
That's funny. That's
all right. What the hell ever. We got a couple guests backstage. One of which has been with us before. The other has not, but he is a longtime friend of mine, and he has been. We were talking about this right before we came on. He has been to all but one of our Squatch outs, and that was the very first one. Because the very first one was only, and we did it this way on purpose. We didn't even know the Squatch out was going to be a thing. But it was myself, my buddy Walls. It was Janice Carter, her daughter Holly, our good buddy Ninja Dave, and Old Bear and his wife. So that was it for the very first one. And then the second one is when we started adding outsiders, and that's when Flat Rock has been a part of it, and he's been a part of every one since. So really cool guy. Really, he's a good buddy of mine, and I'm grateful that he hangs out with us.
And I'm so glad to finally put a face with a screen name, because I've been your co-host for 2 years, but I was your moderator before that. And so you always see Flat Rock in like the chats, but I never like seen him face to face. So it's really cool.
This is your first time meeting Flat Rock?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So I saw him on different podcasts, and I was like, shut up. I want him on ours.
All right. Very cool. Very, very, very cool. All right. We, as you guys know, we got some bills to pay. We're going to do that before we get to our guests. But I'll go ahead and start it off. If anyone out there tonight is new to the program, before you leave, please do us a solid and hit that subscribe button. It would help us out so very much. And yeah, we appreciate it. Please hit that subscribe button before you leave.
And if you would like to be on with Wayne and myself, you can reach out to both of us, Wayne at paranormalworldproductions.com, or me, Tiffany at paranormalworldproductions.com. We have The rest of the Tuesdays for July are completely open. If you would like to be with us, we had to stagger some things because we have the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference coming up, but we have all of our Tuesdays are available. So just reach out to one of us at those emails.
All right. ParanormalWorldProductions.com is our website. We invite everyone to head over there and check that out. Sign up for the Bigfoot newsletter. Check out all of the other shows under the studio's umbrella. That Bigfoot podcast is pretty damn cool, I hear. Pick up some merch, all of that cool stuff, but you can't do any of it without heading to ParanormalWorldProductions.com.
And if you have any questions for tonight's guest, which I know you will because you guys kill it with questions and I love it, just put in all capital letters, please, because sometimes our chat gets to rolling pretty quick and I'm not perfect and I miss things. So please just put in all capital letters. We highlight them and save them for the rapid fire Q&A that we do at the last 10-ish minutes of the show. And I would love to have your questions answered. Just put them in all capital letters, please.
All right, manimalresearch.org is the website for the organization that I founded back in 2019. We do Bigfoot investigations. If you are having believed activity on your property, we would love to be the ones that you trust to come and check that out. We have members in so many southeastern states, several of them. If you would like to become a member and get involved in some of these investigations, we would love to talk to you about that. You can do both at manimalresearch.org. You're muted, ma'am.
Why do I do that?
I don't know. You ain't done it in a while.
I know. Damn, I'm slipping. Anyways, we implore you to become a channel member at only $1.99 a month. It gives you so many extra perks as a channel member. And I just had somebody reach out to me and everybody's been like, who is this person? I can't remember the name right off the top of my head, but I was just emailed the other day and this person was like, hey, I've been a member for some time. Just now got around to emailing you to go into Discord. And so I, of course, sent the link, but it's a good time all the way around. And it's only $1.99 a month. And it goes to help us take care of the cost of putting this show out there. So yes, we would appreciate it.
Absolutely. We would love to have new members anytime. That would be amazing. As Mr. Alex Schmidt says, best $1.99 ever spent. You can't get a Coke for $1.99 anymore. Larry Sharp's been a member for 2 months. Thank you, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And lastly, before we get to our guests, what?
I can't get it. There you go.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It was frozen on my side. So sorry.
If you notice at the bottom, the Cash App and the Venmo are open. They are always open. You guys are amazing at helping us with the donations, the super stickers. The reason we have started offering you guys this option is because the super stickers, they take out a lot of fees, and we understand that. I don't blame YouTube for making money, and we're all in business to make money. But YouTube charges a lot of fees for everything that they do. So if you guys would like to help us a little more, the Cash App and the Venmo are open. It comes straight to us instead of having to wait a month like we do with YouTube. And we are not hit with near the fees. So if you guys can help us out that way, if you'd rather do the super stickers, that's fine. We don't blame you. Whatever. We appreciate it. But the Venmo and the Cash App are just another way to help us out quicker, if that makes sense. So we certainly appreciate that. If not, whatever, we love you anyway.
That's right. We're just happy if you subscribe because it sets us up in the algorithm and it pushes us out to more people.
Yeah. So just spread the word. If you are
Yes.
not subscribed and you're watching right now, please subscribe and
Yes.
tell your mom and them.
Absolutely tell your mom and them, because then your mom and them can go tell their mom and them, and so on and so forth.
That's right. All right. All of that junk up out the way. Tiffany, tell everybody about who we got backstage.
Well, like we have said, we had Tyler Howell on at the beginning of my career here with the Bigfoot Report, formerly known as Paranormal Odyssey. And like I said, with Flat Rock, I was going through and I think it was on Richard Farabee's show. I watched so many, but I saw Flat Rock and he was talking about all this stuff, and I'm like, I really want him on our show. So I reached out to him. And so he was on Brian's show, and now he's on our show.
All right. Very, very cool. And as I said, Flat Rock has been a buddy of mine for a while. He's been at almost all of the Squatch Outs. And Tyler Howe was a very, very interesting and just a real good guest that we had a while back. So we're glad to have him back. Let's welcome Flat Rock and Tyler back to the show. What's up, guys?
Hello, everybody.
How's it going?
Thank y'all so much for coming on.
Absolutely.
Anytime.
Thank you for having us.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you guys so very much. Let's start with Flat Rock. What got you interested in this topic? Did something happen?
Yeah,
were you interested as a kid, or just what happened, bud?
No, we moved on to a property. That's basically what happened. My mom and my brother was out here first, and they was having some stuff happen to them, which we considered people. But eventually, once I did get over here, we found out it wasn't people.
Now you're talking about Alabama, the state of Alabama, right?
Talking about Alabama, yeah, Lower Alabama.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what you thought it was people? What led you to believe that it might not be people?
We seen them. I seen them. What had happened was, we'd have banging. We'd hear the howls, the tree knocks and stuff, but we'd blow it off people. Then we'd see people, which we thought was people crossing through the yard. And this was on a July 4th, July 5th night that this actually happened. And Mr. Bob, he lived up front. He's also a guy who lost his house in Bay County where Hurricane Michael come through. But he called me up, said, he just seen somebody walking through the yard between his house and my mom's. So I got my gun out, and he brought his, and we went after this person. We never could find him. We come back up on the porch and started talking. Next thing you know, we heard the rustling over here in this wood line right there behind her porch, off to the side of her porch. And we walked down there to that area. We still hear it moving around. And we told him to come out, but nothing was ever said. But eventually we told him, going through the woods, and don't come back to this yard. And by the time then, Bob popped the bullet off. Well, that night, something had come out of those woods and raised all kind of hell behind my mom's trailer that she ain't moved in yet. But we never could see who was making all that noise. But we'd still blame that on people because we just never believed in a Bigfoot, never would. And but that was the actual how we got. That was our Alice in Wonderland moment at that point. But eventually, I guess within a month, in August is when I seen it. That first one, I was sitting on my mom's back porch smoking a cigarette, and I can hear Mr. Bobby working on the cook shack up front. And I looked over to my left, and there's this big old black thing standing right there behind the bush. And it got to where, it started turning just as slow could be. I mean, it was extremely slow. But eventually it locked eyes with me. And all I could do was just drop my head and just start saying, oh shit, I mean, I knew what it was at that point. I mean, you hear all about them on the TV channels and all, but you just never believed in them. But that's when I seen my first one, and eventually everything connected with the tree knocks, the banging on the house, the yelling out in the woods, all that stuff. It all connected. But that's how I got involved.
Damn. All right. Same question to you, Tyler. What got you started?
Well, long story short, I had an incident when I was coming out of a tree stand when I was a teenager hunting up in Alabama. I was coming out of the tree that I killed a deer in the year before, and I had a climbing tree stand, and I put it together like a backpack, put it on coming out of the woods because I wasn't going to be back, toward till the end of summer, early fall to start, getting ready for the next season. And I'm coming down this road, and it's like really thick planting pines on each side of me. And when you get to the end of this road where the tree line ends, there's a sage-grass field. And I stepped out of that tree line into that sage-grass field, and there was something maybe 10, not even 10 steps from me. It yelled so loud you could just feel it hit you. It was insane. Haven't experienced anything else like it since. But there was nothing normal that was on that piece of property. I've hunted that piece of property for a long time. I knew all the animals that were on it, and there was nothing out there that made that sound that thing did.
And this was in Florida, you said?
No, this was in Alabama. This is in Southeast
okay.
Alabama.
Southeast Alabama.
Yeah.
You live in Florida, right?
Yes, I'm in the West Florida Panhandle. So I live about an hour south of him.
Yep.
Okay. So your first encounter was also in Alabama.
Yeah, my first encounter was also in Alabama, correct.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard. Before we get any further, I want to ask you guys, and we're going to get into the vocalizations and the pictures and everything that you guys sent. We're definitely going to do that, but I want to skip ahead a little bit. What have you guys heard about? Since you're both seem to be well versed in Alabama and Alabama Bigfoot activity, have you ever heard of the Alabama White Thing? I see Tyler shaking his head, and so is Flat Rock. So whichever one wants to go first.
I've heard about it up in North Alabama. I ain't heard about it down here as of yet. I know there's some gray ones, but not white ones around. But that's about the only thing I've really heard about the Alabama White Thing being up North Alabama, Central Alabama to North Alabama, basically, and hearing about it on the internet. That's all I know about it.
What about you, Tyler?
The Alabama White Thing. So it's funny when growing up as a kid, where I used to hunt with my grandfather right outside of Louisville, Alabama. You blink, you'll miss it. It's in deep southeast Alabama. I was outside piddling around the truck, and I was like, Papa, I'm going to go walk off in the woods and go out in the pasture and this and that. And he said, be careful. He's like, that Alabama White Thing would get you. And I didn't know what he was talking about. And then fast forward to now, hearing people reference that, it's like, dang, makes me, I wish he was still alive so I could ask him, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, yeah, and something that Flat Rock hit on when he talked about gray. That's a question that I have raised. When people talk about like the white Bigfoot that would the notorious white one in Virginia that was filmed, and then the Alabama white thing, could we be talking about not an albino, but possibly an older Bigfoot? Because as we get, y'all see in my beard, y'all see that gray, right? As
Yeah.
we get older, we gray. Could we be
Mm-hmm.
exactly, Tyler? Unfortunately, could we be talking about an older Bigfoot that we're not seeing white, but we're seeing gray?
There's a big possibility in my mind. Yeah.
Yeah, that or just maybe something happened. I wouldn't say necessarily albino, but maybe just something happened amongst, when this was being created, and its skin pigmentation might be different. I don't
Like,
know, but that's
like
very good.
inbreeding, maybe.
I mean, maybe I don't know, because you've heard people say they've seen it looks like they have Down syndrome, or
Yeah.
so I don't know. I, there's no telling, man.
I would say this, Wayne, kind of like when you see a white deer,
Mhm.
you every once in a while, maybe on the internet, you'll see a white snake,
Yeah.
which totally, well, so let's say white python, I mean, yeah, that way, yeah,
Yeah,
it
just an
could.
abnormal, like an abnormality of nature. You know, I don't know. I don't know. All right, let's. Well, Tiffany, what do you want to do? You want to share some vocals or some pictures first?
Let's do the audio. Audio is always a big hit. So let's start with this one.
Howling.
Howling. Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got it's about a 3-minute clip of what we believe to be, or certainly what Flat Rock believes to be, howling. And I listened to this going in, and guys, it's compelling as hell compared to the other stuff that I've heard. Unless it's a recording, and I don't think it's a recording. This sounds a lot like what people claim to be Bigfoot howling.
Mm-hmm.
So
You
we are going to play that now. All right. So, I mean, there was about a minute or so left of that, but I think we kind of got the gist of it.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I'm assuming Flat Rock, that was recorded on your property, right?
Yeah, you
What
can
can
actually
you
hear
tell
the
us about that?
raindrops still. It just got through raining. You can still hear the rain dropping, hitting down, splashing, close to recorder when I got that.
Okay, so yeah, I was wondering what that sounded like, or what that sound
Yeah.
was, and yeah, that makes sense that it was raindrops. But when was that? And that was on your property. What, like, what time of day? And just
That
what
was
can you tell us
that
about
was
that
at
recording?
nighttime. That was January of 2020. It was nighttime. I believe it was close to 10:30 when I recorded that, somewhere up in there. I got it
Okay,
marked down,
so it
but
wasn't terribly
it
late, but
no, it wasn't late at all. No. Mm.
okay. And I mean, did anything lead up to it? I mean, what did something happen to
No,
make?
that's what happened. That was what was going on back in 2019, 2020, 2021 when we had a lot of them around our property. I recorded numerous howls during them 3 years, and it was just right out nuts. I mean, howls just wasn't the only thing I was recording out here. Because after that one event happened on that July 4th morning, July 4th into the 5th happened, I've been recording ever since, every day, every night, ever since. That day, I'll even up to the day. I still record, and and that's how I catch all what I do. Is
So
just
what do you
every
do?
day.
Flat Rock, do you leave a recorder out at your property? Do you take it into the woods and secure
No,
it? Or what do you
no,
do?
just leave it on the porch. Back
So,
then, I was leaving it on the porch. Now, the way I got it set up, I built my own little listen device right outside my house here, and I got a microphone coming from that. It plugs into my camera, okay, which is in the house right here in this back window. And then I Bluetooth my camera to my iPad right here at the couch to where I can hear everything going on outside.
wow. Okay.
And once it starts up out there, all I got to do is mash record and record it.
So how often does this go on?
Oh, goodness. Back then, it was going on a lot. Now, it has slowed down. Uh, I'm going to say from September, October, November, a little bit in December, a little bit in January. Then when you get to the end of January, it picks back up. All into February, all into March, a little bit into April, and then it starts slowing back down again. Now, say like June, July, and part of August, it's kind of dead.
So do
But
you think they're nomadic?
I believe they're just around here. There's a river right out my door here. Just right through the woods and a creek and a couple of streams to where they walk down. And there's a lot of food back here they can eat. I mean, the deer's abundant, the turkey's abundant, the wild fruit's abundant. They like coming up on our porches and stealing the dog food and cat food. They got in my fire pit, to get the food scraps out of it. Of course, I'm sure they got in the garbage as well. Um, on March 9th, I had one come in my yard, run up under the bathroom window, and hit the pole that my listening device is on. Then stand still for a couple minutes, walked over to a cooler, opened the cooler, messed around with the oyster shells that's in that cooler. Sound like he took a bite out of it, got that cooler, and stomped away. And that was the last thing that I know I got recorded. Um, because I ain't went no further than mid-March. That's about as far as I got in listening. Going back listening through all of it. But yeah, they just come in the yard when they ready to.
Damn. All right, let's move on to this next recording that you have listed as just house.
Yeah.
It's about 1:47. So let's see what we got going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
the hell was that?
He was close. There was actually two of them. You can probably hear a little coyote in there as well. But there was two of them. One was at a distance. Now, that one at a distance could have been a coyote, but that one that was close up that screamed out that howl like that definitely wasn't a coyote. I've been hearing these coyotes ever since I moved out here, and even before I even moved out here, when we go hunt, we hear all them coyotes. That was no coyote. That was way too loud to be old coyote
Now,
making that old
how much
howl.
property do you have, Flat Rock?
We got 25 total that our family and a couple of friends live on, but we're surrounded by thousands and thousands and thousands of acres of woodland.
Yeah.
I mean, we're out here pretty deep in the woods. You say that.
All right, this next one you have classified or is labeled as a whoop, and it's only 24 seconds. Let's listen to that.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds like a whoop.
Yeah, I believe that's the one that's when Miss Pat, Joe, Bud, and Angie and Jody was here. That night we were sitting around the table. I think Bud and Angie done got in the back of the truck to go to bed, and you could actually hear us talking, on that audio. And as loud as that whoop was, believe it or not, we didn't hear it. Did not hear it. Did not hear that whoop. As close as that whoop was, we did not hear it.
That's weird because I have collected audio before in the past where I'm sitting around having a conversation with people and there is a very distinct wood knock.
Yeah.
And you can hear it clear as day on the recording, but we did not hear it. No one reacted to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird, man. I don't know.
Well, there was something else that happened at that time, and we didn't know about it. But Miss Pat's recorder and Bud's recorder, they both had them out, separate places, and they both went out around the same exact time that night before that whoop. And there was another something else that happened. We also caught a growl that night. I don't remember if we heard it or not, but there was also a growl that was captured that night. Because my audio stuff is plugged in. It ain't battery operated. The recorders are battery operated. Why both those recorders in separate places went off, completely off around that same time, we can't even guess why that happened, but it happened. It really, really happened.
Damn. All right, this final one that we're going to go to, it says it's a 6-minute clip. I don't know if we'll listen to all of it or not, but it's just labeled as screaming. And
Oh, yeah,
Tiffany and I were talking before, and as she said, it's pretty impressive. So let's give a listen to this.
Mhm.
We're not going to let it run the entire 6 minutes unless
Yeah.
there's something that I'm missing there. But that sound like the typical Bigfoot screams
Mm-hmm.
that you
Yeah.
hear, and you can also hear people talking in the background. I'm assuming that's you.
Yeah, I talked to my brother over the phone, told him to turn down. As Tyler knows, my brother's got a leave. He turns his TV up loud. He is hard of hearing, so his TV is up kind of loud. And I had called him up, and told him, turn down your TV and listen to what's going on out here, And this old creature, he was down there close to the washout because you can actually hear the traffic that was over on the coming down the road. And he was just out there screaming. I mean, I've got him twice doing that. Down that way screaming. Um, yeah, that was a really good. That was a really good capture there. It really was. Sure was.
All right, Tyler, you've been quiet for a few minutes because we've been talking to Flat Rock and all of his stuff. What have you been finding in your outings?
Well, mostly my outings are with him up at his house because he's just right down the road,
Okay.
I mean, he's pretty much spot on with it. It's kind of nice because, excuse me, we don't have to go out in the woods and really go do much. We sit in the living room, watch movies, and have the audio going on low in the background. And when we hear him carrying on, we just pause the movie and we'll open up the door, just sit there and listen to him carrying on.
That's nice.
Man, it's nice. There was one time we weren't hearing much, and he got up, opened up the back door, and hollered out the back door. And right after he did that, one of them things yelled back at him.
Yeah.
That was nuts. That blew my mind.
So how far apart are you guys from each other?
Just a little over an hour.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And
so
I've been going up there for what, 5 years?
About 5 years, yeah. Yeah, Tyler, way me and Tyler met, I went to a Bigfoot conference down in Florida and met Connor Flynn, which of course we all know Connor, you know,
Bigfoot
and
amen.
he introduced me to Tyler over his footage that he had caught over in over around Eglin. He actually
Yeah.
caught a Bigfoot walking across the power line. And really good footage. Even Doug Hotcheck got a hold of it
I forget about
and
that video.
basically verified it. But that's how we got to knowing each other. And he come over one day, you know, into the night, and we sit around talking, and it was about time he was leaving, and he was starting to walk toward his truck, and I called him back, and I'll let you go from there, Tyler.
Yeah, so he called me back, and so the way his trailer is, before he had the porch and all built onto it, it just had the 3 wooden steps to go up inside.
Mm-hmm.
So back when I used to smoke cigarettes, we'd always go outside and burn one before I would leave.
Mm-hmm.
So he's sitting on the 3 wooden steps smoking a cigarette. I'm standing next to him, you know, and so he calls me back and he's like, "What is that right there?" He's like, "Does that look like eye shine to you?" And it was, man. It was like almost like your standard halogen headlight bulb color, if that makes any sense for anybody who's kind of auto part savvy a little bit. And you could see, at first you seen one, and then you seen it kind of come like this behind the tree. Then I seen both. So he told me to go get my camera. So I'm walking to the truck. So as I start walking to the truck, those eyeballs start going like this through the woods, and you can hear it as I go all the way to the truck, and it's right across from me. Right, maybe the tree lines, maybe at where I was parked at that point, where that brush pile was at, what, 25 steps, maybe 20, 25 steps, if that. And then started working my way back to him, and here come the eyeballs back again. It was nuts, man.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like it. I don't know what the hell is going on at your property, Flat Rock.
It's just a very active property. It really is. It's very active here.
So what were you saying when you came on? You wanted to talk about what happened to you guys in Texas?
Yeah. I'm just wanting to give my prayers to these people in Texas, mostly all those children that's gone missing over this flood over there.
Flood.
I mean, I got that report today where all those kids at that Camp Kerr. I mean, there was a lot of people at that camp, and they don't even really know how many is actually missing or dead right now. Mostly 20 kids, 6 years and under.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it last night. It was I think the count was 22. They were saying that they were missing. They were not saying that they had died, but they were saying that
right.
they were missing.
Right.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah,
it's
a bad thing.
So what happened?
They got a bunch of rain. They got a foot of rain overnight. They just had a bunch of thunderstorms stall over an immediate area and got over a foot of rain, and they're just flooded, man.
And that's causing kids to go missing?
Yeah, because it flooded the camp.
That's on the Guadalupe River.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Damn.
So were you guys? I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Tiffany.
I was just gonna ask Tyler, were you with Flat Rock when you guys were with Roger, with the orb floating through the woods?
No. Yeah.
No, I was there. I was the one there. Roger. Well, it was Ken who had come got me. He said, "I see him there in your chat. Wind Clean Ken." I was fixing to head to my tent to go to sleep, and Ken come and got me and told me that that Roger and Harley was seeing something back in the woods if I'd go get my thermal. So I went and got it, and and gave it to him. And Roger, he said he was seeing a face, and he wanted to get it recorded. And being that a new thermal that I just got, I wasn't 100% sure on the buttons, but I knew it was the first button, but it ended up being the first button on the back side instead of the first button on the front side. But either way, we ended up getting that picture, and and I finally got it on, started recording, and that's when he was seeing that ball or whatever it is moving through the woods. And
who was seeing the ball?
Roger Williams, Squatch and Holler.
Okay.
And he had filmed it on thermal.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Roger actually sent that to me in actually on a Facebook Messenger when we were at the beach, and he was like, "I know you're on vacation," and I was like, "No, it's okay. I've already started working again." So, but it's fascinating. I have to send it to you, Wayne.
Okay.
I'll do that now.
Yeah, hell yeah. Something to me.
Who
else
Rock,
was
did you
involved
send
in
him
all
the
that?
audio file of that thing screaming, "Hey"? You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. I think it's in that folder. Hold on, let me see.
Man.
Did you send that one to me too?
Is it the one that says "Hey you"? There's a "Hey you."
No, this one it just says, "Hey, I don't think they got that one. Let me see.
No, I listened to all of the
No,
audio.
you ain't
I just
got that
remember
one.
the "Hey
This one, this one just literally just yells out.
Yep.
Hold on, I'll play it for you. Let me get it.
Yeah,
Hold up
man.
here. It's just one of them things that when you're around and you get too close to these creatures, they'll sit there and yell at you. Hold on just a second. Let's see.
All right, well, we got a second. I noticed a few new names out there in the chat. You guys, please hit that subscribe button before you leave, if you haven't done so.
Yeah, Flat Rock's place is an interesting place to be, man. A lot of strange things have happened there. I've spent
And Tyler,
many nights.
you're in. I guess you're in like northwest Alabama.
No, Northwest Florida.
Florida. I'm sorry.
So I'm close to Fort Walton Beach or Destin, Florida.
Okay, yeah, I've been to this. Panama City. I go.
Okay, I'm like an hour and a half from Panama City.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys mentioned Connor.
Yeah, Connor don't live far from me. Neither
I went
does
on
Stacy.
vacation down in Panama City a couple years ago, and Connor met me there. We went on a gator airboat tour.
Oh, cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, Connor's been on a couple of times. I like him. He's a good dude.
Yeah, Connor's pretty cool, man. We've done a few things together.
Yeah. But here it is right here, Wayne. You'll hear him just yell out.
Okay, where?
Go ahead.
I think he's about to play it on his end.
Y'all can't hear it yet?
No. Tiffany, what'd you send me?
I sent you the video that Roger sent me with the orb and the thermal.
Okay. So we don't have the audio of what Flat Rock's trying to play.
I'll send it to you. Hold on.
Okay. We might not be able to get it on.
Yeah. Anyway, basically what it does, it just goes, real loud. It'll make you jump. When they do that kind of stuff, it'll literally make you jump.
Yeah.
But I send it to you just so you could hear it. After
do that.
But yeah. Now there's one that I've been playing with. Even asked that Chat GPT about it.
Yeah.
Me, Roger, Ken, and somebody else was putting
putting some audio, see what AI would say about it, you know.
Yeah.
And I put in there the one where when Stacy Brown and Tyler were staying the night over here. And Stacy was staying, had his tent right there on the edge of my property and the lease property right here. But I done come in the house. Tyler and Stacy, they were still right there at the fire, but they eventually started heading on their tent. And you can hear Stacy saying, "Later, brothers." And while he's getting in his tent, next thing you know, you hear like this chimpanzee sound going, yo, and y'all, you actually got that in your folder there. But yeah, that was crazy when that happened. But I put that in that chat PTT whatever it is.
Chat GPT.
And it come back talking about primates and chimpanzees, man.
Yeah.
Sure
The
it
fact
is.
we didn't hear it
Yeah, we didn't
is
hear
what
it.
gets me.
Yeah, that's another one we didn't hear. I could hear it from in here on my iPad, but they couldn't hear it right there from where they was at outside.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Immediately after I heard it, I actually walked back out there and asked them, did they just do some kind of monkey sound? Because when Stacy come here and done a documentary, that Journey to Belief documentary of his,
Yeah.
he was in his Bigfoot suit down there in the high grass area, and he's doing that monkey sound, whoop, 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 going crazy out there. And it was almost like this thing repeated what Stacy was doing. It was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We've come up right here about an hour. We got a few questions from the audience, so we're going to go ahead and get to those if y'all don't mind. All right, first one is from Troy. What effect do you think the large number of fireworks going off every 4th of July has on Bigfoot?
I can give an opinion and only an opinion about it.
Okay.
Kind of like when we shot that, when Bob shot that bullet off in the air. That loud bang, and it caused them old critters to come out here in our yard and scare us half to freaking death, banging on everything, ripping stuff up. And that's basically all I can say. But any other time, any other July 4th night, I ain't had a problem.
Yeah.
It was just that one event in 2019 that that loud popping from the gun, caused that little issue.
All right, you got anything, Tyler?
I really don't know, to be honest with you. That's a pretty good question.
Yeah, I think that's a good question too. Something we
It
need
is.
to think about going forward.
Yeah.
Well, I know they see them. So down here where I live, all around where I live at, is the Eglin Air Force Space Reservation. It's a little over 400,000 acres. 300 and something thousands open to the public to hunt, camp, fish, all that stuff. And there's been a handful of sightings out there that from people I've interviewed over the years, especially in the military.
Yeah.
And they drop bombs out there and do all kinds of different ordnance missions. So, I mean, if they're used to it, they do that in certain areas. So, I don't know.
Dollar, tell them that one that about the bombing run.
Oh, yeah. So there's a guy I used to work with. He's retired military, but he used to do something in C-130s. But they were, I guess, they were doing some kind of ordnance drop with another plane, and the C-130 was like 30,000 feet, whatever, or I wouldn't say 30,000 feet, a little less, but it had some kind of really high-end thermal imaging camera on this plane, and that they could see, on this clear bombing range. And he said they used to see them all the time on that camera, and they looked like tall, skinny bears running on two legs across that range, and they would have to shoot live like rounds onto the range to get them to get scared to go off the range, so they could drop the big bombs on their targets.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah,
Now that's interesting as hell.
yeah.
All right, moving on again, Troy. Do you have red wolves in your area?
No.
Neither one of you. Okay. Also from Troy, do you believe Dogman exists? If so, could that be what you're hearing?
I'm
Loaded
gonna say this, Joe. I don't mean to offend nobody. I really don't. Now, personally, I don't believe in Dogman. Okay, I personally don't. I am evidence based person. Always have been. You got to. That's all I can really say. You got to. But Miss Pat and Joe got this thermal out there at LBL. I can't tell you if it's a Bigfoot or Dogman. From some of the stills on that thermal, that thing does got ears. It's got boobs. You can see the boobs on this thing. You can tell it's a cryptid. And that's all I can say this thing is a cryptid. I can't tell you if it's a Dogman. I can't tell you if it's a Bigfoot. It is a 100% cryptid. And it's the first ever thermal, 16 minutes long, of this creature moving, facing up to this creature actually faced up to him. I mean, he come right toward.
Yeah, it's I don't know if Flat Rock Pro's there or not, but it's pretty compelling. It's pretty compelling footage. Chris Blaylock showed me while
I got to see that bit. I'm glad I got. Am I back yet?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay. I'm sorry about that, but that's just incredible footage, guys. Incredible footage.
It's very compelling. It is.
Yeah.
Anyone that wants to see that, reach out to me and I'll send you the link.
Yeah.
All right. Last question was also from Troy. Troy hit us. He was working tonight. Have you ever left gifts for them? Food, small toys, bright objects, anything?
I did one time. Me and Tyler threw some apples out there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I ended up getting this audio. You can actually hear it sounds like small ones running back and forth through the yard. And you could hear this bigger one in the wood line moving through the woods. And I guess around between the 8 and 10 minute mark is a 17-minute audio. You can actually hear them crunching down on that apple. Chewing it like a normal person does. You can hear it bite off of it and chewing this thing, this apple. And it's a good audio, but that's the only time we ever did it.
Yeah, so it literally sounds like someone just walks up to that bucket, grabs an apple, takes a bite, and starts chewing. Then takes another bite, starts chewing. It took 3 or 4 bites.
Yeah,
you can hear them. You can hear it chewing clear as day. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's really cool. Really cool. All right, we'll start with you, Tyler. Take a second here, buddy, and tell everybody where they can find you, anything that you're working on, anything you want to promote.
No, I don't really have anything I want to promote. I mean, I have my YouTube channel, Tyler Howell Outdoors. There's a piece of footage on there that I captured that Flat Rock was kind of talking about earlier that High Check looked over. And he thinks it's legit. I'm sure. I think Tiffany and Seawan, I think y'all have seen it too. But other than that, yeah, that's about it. But I'm not really working on anything in particular, I guess, not around here. I mean, we've got a project we're doing up at his house. It's kind of like a year-long study.
Yeah.
But other than that, we're not really, don't really have much going on. It's too hot to really go do anything. If I'm outside, I
You're
want to be laid up in
exactly
a creek
right.
somewhere with a cold beer.
It's too damn hot to do anything
Yep.
except lay in the damn creek.
Yep.
That's
You're
it.
exactly right.
When you got so many critters in the summer that can infest things you don't need infested.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-mm.
All right, Flat Rock, same to you, buddy. Where can people find you? You got anything going on?
They can find me at my Facebook page, Flat Rock Woodburgers, and I posted up a lot of my captures on there. That and my physical evidence I've collected out here. That's for anything going on. No, it's just too hot and too thick out there. I mean, I still listen out there, but the cicadas
Yeah.
are so loud you can't really hear nothing.
Either you guys going to be at the Smoky Mountain Conference?
I probably won't be able to make it.
No, I won't be able to make that one. No,
Okay.
I
We're going
want
to
to
be
go,
there.
but I can't make it.
Bunch of us are going to be there. I'm actually doing the roundtable. I'll
Yeah.
be
cool.
speaking at the roundtable up there, and we've got a cabin. We're doing a dinner, a birthday party for Miss
Mhm.
Tiffany
Happy birthday.
while we're
Thank
up
you.
there. So yeah, going to be a good time. But to you guys, thank you guys so very much for coming on and hanging out. Tyler, I know this is the second time for you, but Flat Rock, I mean, you've been buddies for way too long for this to be your first time, man. I'm glad you come on.
It took me a long time to come on to a lot of podcasts. I mean, I'm just not a podcast person. I like my privacy.
Yeah.
And you notice I ain't never advertised myself. Never have. Never will. Because I'm just not in it for that. I'm in this for the safety of my family and to just record these creatures while they're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that's obvious. I've known you for 5 years now, and you've never really promoted yourself or tried to do anything.
Mm-mm. No, I'm just gonna keep allowing researchers to come over, and do their thing, and I'm gonna
I'll
learn
get
from
down
them.
there one day with you, buddy. I promise.
Yeah. I'm just continue learning from them. Tyler, I've learned a lot from Tyler. He might be young, but that dude knows his stuff. And he's very, very skeptical, and that's what I like. That's the kind of people I like bringing over is the real skeptical person. I mean, you can bring over people who's got it already in their head, about Bigfoot and all,
Yeah.
but you're bringing in that bias, and you really want to get good evidence. You got to bring in people that's real skeptical, like Tyler, like Miss Pat, like Joe Parker, like Bud, like Angie. I mean, they go look at stuff like you are. I mean, I showed you some pictures, and when you sit there and tell me you don't see nothing, which that's okay. I want that to happen. I mean, it keeps me right.
Yeah.
And so and
Oh, I meant
enjoy
to
it.
say, anyone that wants to get a hold of me, I meant to say this earlier, can find me on Facebook, and we also started a group page on Facebook, and I completely forgot about it. It's WFBI, which is West Florida Bigfoot Investigations.
Okay.
If anyone wants to reach out, they're more than welcome to.
Yep. And he does a lot of research over at Blackwater Creek. And that place is also full of critters. And that Blackwater Creek forest
Blackwater River,
is actually connected to the Conecuh National Forest, which is this county. So basically, it's the same forest. Just they're just full. We get over there and we record great howls over there. I mean, it's not as vocal over there, but you still get to record some really good howls and all over there.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so very much for taking the time to come and hang out. Flat Rock, I will see you in a few months at the Squatch Out. Tyler, I'm sure we will talk again soon.
Oh yeah,
But,
brother.
yeah, you guys are welcome back anytime. And again, thank you very much.
Thanks,
And,
man.
Yes, thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you for
Anytime.
having us.
enjoy the rest of your evening.
Y'all
You
do the
too,
same.
Wayne.
All right. See you guys.
Thank you, Miss Tia.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Couple of really, really good guys.
I agree. It was
Yeah.
good.
That was a good show. All right. What we got coming up, madam?
We have an opening on Tuesday, the 8th. So if
Which
you want to come on,
means if one of y'all don't reach out to us to come on, we will be looking at doing another missing persons case.
so we can do either or.
Yep.
And
All right. And again, do
Wait.
what?
I go to the dentist next Wednesday, and I hope that I have a tooth by Saturday.
It'll be all right. How many
It'll be all right.
days to Tennessee?
18.
Didn't we talk about that already? Can you believe it's 18 freaking days?
18 days.
God. It is so close. It's going to be such an amazing time.
I'm super excited to be able to I don't know, hug y'all and touch you.
Super duper excited. Cannot wait.
I don't know why my thing did a thumbs down. No, it's thumbs up. I don't know. He's trying to put on a laser show.
Whatever. All right, let's get all up out of here. Say your goodbyes, ma'am.
Bye, you guys. Thank you for coming. As always, if you are new, please hit the subscribe button on the way out. We would love to have you come back for each and every show. Until we see you again, peace.
All right, guys, again, to echo what the lovely and talented Miss Tiffany said, thank you guys so much for hanging out tonight. Until we talk to y'all again, y'all take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Bye.